Hello, my name is Wendy Sedaris. We are here in the city of Fredericksburg, nestled in the gorgeous Texas Hill Country. They were a little nervous when they heard I was coming today, but as you can see, they rolled out the red carpet and I rolled in on my tank. Thank you for being a part of this special day and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the National Museum of the Pacific War. And right now I'm standing in the museum's combat zone. Hello, my name is Barbara Fasola, founder and chair of Families of World War II Veterans. Soon you'll hear from my colleagues, Wendy Sedaris and Sean Loving, members of our board of directors. Our mission at Families of World War II Veterans is to award scholarships to deserving individuals through the education of the historical significance of World War II. We hope to educate new generations about World War II and its lasting lessons. Our goal is to preserve the memory of the heroes of this war and honor the men and women that have served. In addition to nearly 34,000 square feet of indoor exhibit space, the museum contains an impressive display of Allied and Japanese aircraft, tanks, guns, and other large artifacts made famous during the Pacific War campaigns. Please join us on this exclusive journey of the National Museum of Pacific War and the George H.W. Bush Gallery. We hope you enjoy this journey. The Japanese Garden of Peace was a gift to the people of the United States from the people of Japan, with prayers for everlasting world peace through the goodwill of our two nations, symbolized by the friendship and respect that existed between Admiral Togo and Admiral Nimitz. The garden was constructed in 1976, and there are many elements that contain symbolic meaning. Water features represent notions such as loyalty and one heart. Furrowed pebbles are to remind us of the Pacific Ocean waves that represent the Pacific Ocean's joining of Japan and the United States.
Hi, my name is Sean Loving, Director of Scholarships. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. Because of gracious donors like you, we've been able to give out over $250,000 in scholarships. Although the landscape has changed, the goal remains the same. Families of World War II veterans hope we can count on your continued support to help educate the next generation.
B-25 bombers like the one behind me changed the perspective of the war, as they were cheaper and faster to build and flown by all four services.
Behind me are the uniforms of all of the branches of military. Just another example of the museum's attention to detail and preservation. Another important section of this museum are the oral histories. They are a collection of recordings of individual memories as historical documentation. The museum has over 6,000 recorded. These histories are more concerned with what the men and women's everyday lives were like, such as how was the food, how did you sleep, what was your day like. The histories are fascinating. They are truly a national treasure.
I'm taking a patrol out. Would you come along?
The power had been shut off.
We had no mosquito net.
They sank a tanker.
Admiral Chester W. Nimitz, who played a major role in the naval history of World War II, was also a Fredericksburg native. President Roosevelt handpicked Nimitz from among 28 flag officers senior to him to relieve Admiral Kimmel at Pearl Harbor after the attack. As Commander-in-Chief in the Pacific, Admiral Nimitz restored morale to the Pacific Fleet by building an aggressive combat team and making the right moves in the Battle of Midway. To this day, Midway is considered the U.S. Navy's greatest victory. The atomic attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced Japan to surrender. On September 2, 1945, on board the battleship Missouri, anchored in Tokyo Bay, Fleet Admiral Nimitz signed the Japanese instrument of surrender on behalf of the United States. After the war, Nimitz continued to be sought out and honored for his wartime service. He was decorated by 14 nations and became a Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations. He also worked to restore goodwill with Japan by raising funds for the restoration of the Japanese memorial ship Mikasa and urging return of ancestral samurai swords. He believed in the importance of turning swords into plowshares.
we are in the Memorial Courtyard. This important courtyard honors those who served specifically in the Pacific Theater. The memorial is full of plaques, bricks, and benches that have been adopted by families of those who served to honor and commemorate their service and bravery. The mission of this museum is not to tell the events of the war, as much as tell the stories of those who served, the average Americans who did extraordinary things, who didn't do anything to be heroic, but were heroes. They want to make sure those stories live on forever. I'd like to point out a very special plaque, the plaque of my father, the reason the charity exists. This is Russell Berger, who served in the Navy in the South Pacific. The next plaque over is John Armstrong, the father of David Armstrong, one of our fellow board members. The next plaque is Hubert Cava, my uncle, who also served in the South Pacific. It's an honor to have their plaques resting here in memory forever at this great museum.
Hey guys, welcome to one of the coolest spots in the combat zone, Japanese machine gun nest. Here's where they reenact war battles. I better keep it quiet.
On behalf of families of World War II veterans, we'd like to extend this scholarship to Legend Grigsby to help further his education. Congratulations, Legend.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This wraps up our visit to the National Museum of the Pacific War. Thank you for joining us today for this incredible tour. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. For more information on families of World War II veterans or to make a donation to the Scholarship Fund, you can visit our website, www.familiesww2veterans.org. In honor of World War II veterans, families also have the option to name a scholarship in their relative's honor. We thank you again.